Well, married life can be challenging enough without issues like faith or ethnicity getting in the way. But for an Arab man living with a Jewish wife in the Middle East, the political and cultural tensions of the region are bound to impact on their relationship. RT's Paula Sleer tells a story now of how complicated it can get.
Sami Abu al-Subai has 2 wives, which is not that unheard of in the Arab world. But when one wife is Arab and the other is a Jew, well, that is a little unusual.
When I married her, I didn't think about her faith or nationality or whether she's Arab or Jew. I love her and I always wanted to be her husband. We're not guilty of anything. It's the state's leaders who are to blame.
Sami lives with his 2 wives and 10 children in a village in South Hebron. The Palestinian city is the largest in the West Bank, and Israelis are forbidden by law to enter. But Sami met his Jewish wife Leo, who comes originally from Russia, in Israel. They were both working in Tel Aviv and had to communicate in Hebrew until Leo learned Arabic.
I'm not afraid of anything. I'm part of the Arab community. Once I was traveling from Israel to the West Bank and was stopped by Israeli soldiers at a checkpoint. They told me that after the crossing began the territory of the West Bank. I told them I know, as I live there.
But marriages like theirs are unusual, not only because of their different faiths, but because of the political tension in the country between Jews and Arabs. As a result, most Israeli Jews wouldn't even think of dating across the border.
This is seen as a taboo, and they won't tell you about it. This is really something which is not to be proud of. I think the basic reason is that people are afraid that this may affect the Jewish character of the state. I think this is the basic fear that most Jewish Israelis, of course, have in this respect.
Since Israel was established in 1948, different governments have tried to limit close relationships developing between Jews and Arabs. The 2 communities live separately, and their children often attend different schools. Even in the handful of so-called mixed cities, Arabs usually live separate to their Jewish neighbors. Interfaith and civil marriages are illegal, which means Leo had to convert to marry her husband.
The moment she declares that she's becoming a Muslim and she marries a Muslim, she is a Muslim, and therefore there's no discrimination against her.
Sami was placed under house arrest 4 years ago by Israeli security for his relationship with Leo. She was banished from her family. But finally, the 2 can live together, which is why it's so important for them that their children grow up with tolerance. In the house is a Quran and Torah. Arabic and Jewish music is played, and both languages are spoken. But still, it doesn't prevent the outside world from creeping in. Sami's first wife asked us not to film her, because even though this family is an example of Jews and Arabs not only living but loving together, that picture is very far from the reality that is the Middle East today. Paula Sleer, RT.